And welcome back to Wake Up Radio with Ryan Rain Fuzz. We're here in live with Ciera Payton in the studio. We are talking a little bit about how you got started in your career in acting, talking about how you had the support of your family. Since the very early beginnings, you've done some really fantastic things. You had a chance to, well, you actually had quite an interesting experience with Hurricane Katrina because you are from
New Orleans.
That's right.
Yeah.
A proud New Orleanian.
I am such a proud New Orleanian. Yes, I love my city. With my whole Katrina experience, it's really crazy because that summer we had a couple of hurricanes that one of which I ended up evacuating for. And it's being from New Orleans or dealing with any of that, it's such a pain in the butt to have to evacuate. Like, you want to pack stuff, you want to board up the windows, it's just you don't want to do it.
Yeah. So
when I heard about this tropical storm named Katrina coming, I was like, it's just a tropical storm, I'm not going anywhere. And anyway, it ended up being bigger than what it was, and I stayed in New Orleans up until that Sunday night and ended up evacuating to Baton Rouge with friends and neighbors. And we really, no one knew the severity of any of it. And during the time the storm had hit, we lost electricity. I was in Baton Rouge for 10 days without contact with any of my family. No cell phones were working at all. Mm-hmm. And at the time, my little brother was 5 years old, and my mother was in Mississippi, and my older brother, I didn't know exactly where he was. I knew my father was in jail at the time, but it was just one of those things where I didn't know. I had no idea. And I remember sitting in a taco place, and it dawned on me that I could have lost my family because a rap song came on by T.I., and that's my little brother's favorite rapper. Mm-hmm. And that's just when I realized that my life has changed forever. And my college, I was enrolled at North Carolina School of the Arts at the time. They were able to, get me back to North Carolina. They wired me money. They just said, get in the car and just come out here, and we'll take care of you from there. Mm-hmm. And once I got back to school, I was able to get in contact with my family and eventually help them get out to North Carolina and get out of New Orleans. And it was one of those things where I was so depressed because it wasn't like I actively made a choice to leave my home. My home was taken away from me. Mm-hmm. And during all of that, my grandmother had passed away. And it was the first time where, I had no passion for anything mm-hmm. at all. Mm-hmm. I failed one of my classes. I barely went to class. I had scenes and monologues to work on, and I was just like, screw this. I don't want to do this anymore. And I started looking back into the medical field again. And
so you were going to give it up?
I was going to give it up.
You were ready to give up acting?
Yeah, because I felt so much pain, and school counselor was telling me I need to be on medication and all this type of stuff. And I was just like, no, I really think I just need to grieve. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And so I left school during Mardi Gras, and I just, at this point, I just didn't care. And while in New Orleans, I got a call from a local agent down there saying that Steven Seagal was auditioning for a film. And I actually wasn't going to even go to the audition. I got there late because I just didn't give a crap. And and I ended up booking the job. So
love that.
I was like, okay, maybe. I don't know. I guess
wow.
I'm supposed to.
I don't know if everyone should be following that example, Ciera.
No, please don't. Don't.
Once again, I think what's interesting about that is we've talked several times about how in moments of crises are when people really make that flip or that switch. The light goes on or something happens. Yeah. And again, we hate that people have to hit that bottom or hit that part, but for a lot of people, that's what it takes to create some other type of thing to happen, Yeah. And so even though you went with kind of this, I don't care attitude, you still went to that audition.
Yeah.
You still went to that audition. And something else that we talk about a lot of times is just releasing. You have shared with me a couple of times where you were just got to the point of tears and screamed, and that next day is when something with the radio show or the TV show or something happens. And I think that when we kind of finally
Yeah,
release.
that's true.
Look, I can't control every little minutia. I can't control everything, and we just kind of let that go.
But it's it's having to balance the releasing and taking action, because
Yeah.
in the physical world we feel like we have to work, 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 work. But I think a big part of it is letting it happen on its own.
Exactly. And I mean, and that's why, I really do believe in just really being in tune with my body and my spirit as much as possible, because we are distracted constantly by what's going on around us, and especially when you're in the entertainment field. I mean, I made a promise to myself a long time ago that I'm going to give this thing all or nothing,
Good.
And I mean, it gets hard, and it does, and especially now we're going through this thing called a recession. It's like,
yeah.
do I pick up a second job? Do I don't? Like, do I need the survival job? Like, or what? It's just, so
Questions and more questions.
Well, Ciera,
Exactly.
we're going to find out a little bit about how you got out here to Los Angeles and how things have been going since you just recently arrived. And we're going to talk about some of the chatting that's happening in the chat room. Stay with us for Wake Up Radio. We'll be right back.